Hey everybody, thank you to Maxon for having me out. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate you. My name's Andy Needham. I'm a freelance senior motion designer. I'm based in London. I've been working in the industry for about 20 years or so. I'm also an educator, and by that I mean I make training for these platforms that you see here, mainly LinkedIn Learning. But I've been doing it for about 12 years, and over that time I've had the opportunity to work with Grayscale Gorilla and School of Motion as well. And I love doing that side of thing. I also love doing these presentations as well. I like also being able to do something more immediate, and that's why I started doing a YouTube channel. I got a couple of particle node modifiers tutorials up there. That's the current focus. So I do a lot of Cinema 4D stuff. Yeah, check it out if you're interested. Before we get into the presentation, I'm going to show my reel, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, let's go. I'm doing a lot of immersive artworks, which is kind of crazy to think that I was working on smaller screens like when I first started out, and now they're huge projections that thousands of people see. And this was working with Cinesight for a gallery in London called Frameless, reimagining a Rembrandt, and I was part of a team working on this, but I was responsible for the look and feel of the ocean, and some of the stuff on the boat as well. But yeah, great to be part of that, and it's won awards, and it meant that we could then do more projects. So last year I had the opportunity to take a Rachel Royce painting, and just me on this one. We had a compositor from Cinesight, Alex Watkins, who did an amazing job. For the most part, it's just me working in Cinema 4D and Redshift and getting this one out. And I really wanted to make it quite fun. So there's like this fallen log that you're going underneath, and we have all these little animated insects and stuff, and you're kind of ending up at the final painting with a nice little reveal of flowers opening and things like that. So it's an experience, it's a journey, and I think a lot of fun to make. And also, what I found really awesome is I can actually take my kids to something like this, and they can enjoy it, and you get to see other people enjoying it too. So yeah, but that's kind of what I've been doing. But I've also been working with the Maxon Studio team to create 100 new capsules for this latest release. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about some workflows, and I'm going to share with you, just how we can work with some of these new capsules. Let's talk about. Who here is familiar with Maxon Studio? If you want to put your hand up, that's great. I know that you guys are. Yeah. So, what is it? It's this a plugin within After Effects. If you're familiar with the Red Giant tools, it's part of that. So it's this interface for browsing, applying, and adjusting a capsule. And a capsule is a term that Maxon use throughout many of their software packages, but in the context of After Effects, we're talking about layers, effects, masks, anything that can make up a composition is kind of wrapped up in this really powerful templating engine that they have as a recipe, and then rebuilt whenever you apply that, it's rebuilt within After Effects. So it's and it matches like one-to-one. It's just it's really, and the files are super light as well. So that's another advantage I think of Studio. But the other advantage that you have is over just using, a template from somewhere is the interface, right? Which I said at the beginning. So it is this interface within After Effects. Once you start customizing your capsules, you can save them as presets, so you can save yourself time. They can be shared as well. Like I said, it's a very lightweight format. So here's just a quick slide just to show a couple of the different types of capsules that are available, and we're going to I guess I was going to talk about like some of the examples of users. You don't need to be an After Effects user to really get in here and actually work with capsules. Okay, so I think it targets editors and maybe more non-After Effects users, because it's very user friendly. But if you do have knowledge of After Effects, then dive into the comps that are created and really tailor them in ways that perhaps the capsule designer hadn't originally thought of. And later on in the show, on Tuesday, I'm going to talk about something that maybe more advanced After Effects users are going to really enjoy. I'll save that for later, but it's the create page and how we actually make these capsules. So it's exciting. So this is the interface. I'm going to dive in and talk about a few things. The most notable thing, I guess, is like the new capsules that I've been making, but I want to touch on a few of the other updates that have happened that people might not be aware of. That the fact that you can just drag and drop footage on to a placeholder just makes it super intuitive to use. Capsules can be applied to any size comp, and with these apply options, it will just fit to the resolution. So there's that we can talk about, and obviously there's a lot of social media capsules as well. I've got some slides for this, but you know what? We're not going to talk through. We're going to touch on these things, but I think it's more important to just dive in and actually just start playing around. And we're going to make just going over the basics. Going to make a couple of things really like from scratch, because this is the whole point. You have a blank canvas. If you have no ideas, then just open up Studio, and surely there'll be some inspiration here. And then maybe you can try a different capsule, and then maybe you can iterate on that one with more capsules and just start layering them up. So let's jump in. So here we are in After Effects, and as I said, it's a plugin. You can find it from the window menu here, and we just scroll down and find Maxon Studio. So you can enable it here. It's going to load up, and we'll give it a second. Okay, so I was going to show you like it toggling this with in the interface, because this is it's I don't know, After Effects is sort of like there's a lot of different panels and things like that. You can quickly show and hide Studio with your own keyboard shortcut, which I think is really one of the important things to learn straight away. I customized mine. It's not this by default, but I can just hit Option and Z, and it will toggle the interface for me. But it's a dynamic interface, right? We can just press the tilde key, and it'll update to fill the frame, which gives us a great view of all the capsules. So when we're in this discovery mode, we can just see all these things, right? Now, if you click on View here, this is really handy because it's going to show you all the ones that I've made. They're tagged with my handle. So a collection of backgrounds and other elements like little social media things as well. All these little fun little bits, and I'll let you discover those in your own time. But what you can see is as I hover over the interface, you get a nice little preview. If you want to see more details about the capsule, just click onto it, right? The little panel opens up to the side. We get the same preview playing. It's going to loop. And if you like, you can make them even bigger. Let's just make this smaller. And you get some details. And the reason why we can search for this is because of the tagging system. So anything that's tagged, I'm called Andy, that's going to show up here. So that's important to keep in mind, because if we come back to we can just clear this out, and now we're back to all our capsules. We've got these main categories along the top. Here we can filter through just by what we're interested in, so text or motion graphics, and then below that we can even go even further, right? So maybe I just want some logo reveals, and there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is clear this out, and you can obviously add on to this, right? I'm going to clear this out, and I'm going to go for flat posters. And we don't have to have this view like this. If you want to, you can move this around. as I said, it's going to just change and reflow the content for you. So, yeah. So let's say I'm interested in this. I have, in my project, I've got a couple of assets. I've got a little palette reference that I want and a video that I want to include in this, right? So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe this one's going to be a good one to add to my thing. And because this is one that I've been looking at, what I've done is I've actually favorited it. And this is another way of searching and filtering and making your own collections, right? So if we just come out of this, we can go to this little filter here, and you can see favorites. Now I'm in the motion graphics category, so it's gonna keep that filter on for me, right? So what you might want to do is just come back to all capsules, and then apply, and you've still got that favorites up there, right? So you might think, all right, I've got backgrounds that I like, okay? And there they are. So you can see all capsules filtered by your favorites. So that's how you read it. And then if you want to go further, you say, well, I only want vertical ones, or, whatever. So a really good way of curating your own kind of list of capsules that you like. So we've got this one here. Let's apply it. So if I can apply it, right? And this is the thing, right? Oh, a little pop-up message here that says, you just need a comp in order to do this. This is really helpful, especially if you're not an After Effects user. You might not know this, right? So it's going to say, let's do this. And all you have to do is just fill in what you want. So I'm going to go for a 1920 by 1080, but I could also maybe like to demonstrate that apply options thing that I was talking about earlier. So if I make this 4K, right, and just choose OK, let's make it a bit shorter as well. So about 300 frames, and you'll see it's there, right? It's right in the middle. It's because this capture was made at HD. So what we can do is come out of this. So let's just go over here. I'll talk about this in a moment, but I'm just going to delete this instance, and it's gone. If we browse again, now I've got this here. The apply options are up here on the right. So if I just say fill frame, now what this is going to do is apply it, and now it's at 4K resolution. So super intuitive, and again, you can start working with all the other modes as well. So I'm going to switch this back to the original size, and what I'll do for now is, I think I'll just clear this one out. I'm going to change my comp, because I think the speed as well, I don't want to be previewing at 4K. So we'll go back to 1920 1080. Let's just bring that capsule back in, apply, all good. There it is. All right, so now it looks just like regular old After Effects, right? But this is the magic. We can edit right within Studio. So on the left is a list of all the capsules that we have in the project. So just this one. And then we have a placeholder, which is what we're going to use for this footage. And we have some other groups as another nice way of keeping things organized. You can fold these up and, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we can see we can make edits to the text. We can change, or we can show and hide these elements that are around here. So I'm going to grab some footage, drop this in, and there it is, right? It's just swapped out. And let's change the colors. So I've got my palette here. You can just, you can do it in a number of ways. You can either, if you know the hex codes, just come in and type them in, or just use that familiar picker, and we'll just pick some colors. All right, so I've got this one and this one. She's okay. And there we go, right? We've customized this now. And you know what? I'm going to probably, because the placeholder is not going to come through if I've used a custom one, it's not going to come through with the next stage of what I want to do. Say I like these colors, right? And I want to just keep that in mind for something else. So what I like to do is save presets. This saves me some time. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to call it red and just save. Now, this is another useful button that you should be made aware of. If we click here, come back to the detail view and scroll down, now we can see any presets that are associated with this capture. So this is great, right? We can rename it, make it a bit more meaningful if we've been in a rush. We can delete them, and we can show them in the Finder, which is great because then you can share it with a colleague. Okay, so we have a preset now, which we might use later on. Let's just come back and we'll drop in that placeholder. And you saw as well, like all I did was click this little button here. That allowed me to reset any parameter back to the default. So yeah, it's there. You're not gonna hit it by accident. You have to hover over and make it meaningful, right? So we've got some text that we want to put in. So let's just call it Maxon and scroll down, Studio. Okay, so we've got 2 lines of text. Maybe I don't want to see these elements, so I'm just going to turn these off. Just get rid of these. Okay. And you can see I'm clearing it out, but maybe I'll keep the line. We'll get rid of these ones. And this is looking all right. Let me just play it back. It's going to play back nice and fast. So I'm noticing an issue with the footage, but I'm going to go and correct that in a second. And maybe, right, I want this just to be on one line. So I know that I want it on this line. So I'll type in Maxon. And now I've got it saying Maxon Studio. I don't want it to say that, so I'll just hide this one. Okay. So I haven't had to go into any comps yet. This is fine. Now, with this particular capsule, all we have is just a very basic control for the placeholder. And that's fine. This is all I want. But what you can do is just treat it like any After Effects project, right? You come in here, this is where the placeholder is. And I just tap U so I can expose any keyframes. So I don't want to mess with the animation in here, but what I do want to do is just scale this down a bit. So maybe I'll just scale this to 60, and then I'm going to use my align tool on the position keyframe that I have here to align it to the right of the comp. And then I notice that there's a matte here which is hiding and showing this footage. So I can align that as well. And now I've got it how I want it. So play this back, and I'm going to call that good for version 1. All right, so now I'm going to make we'll rename our comp. So it's 01 V01. You know what we could also do? We could come into here and stay organized, right? So we can rename the instance. That's cool. So we now have that. Now let's go back to discovery, and let's say that we want completely different design. So I'll make a new comp, and this is going to be 02 V01. All right, I'll apply this. Nice and quick. There it is. And we'll just go through this process again. Now you'll notice that we've got a few more controls here in this particular capsule, right? The design has been super kind to us, so this is great. We will apply this, and then we'll change our scale. Okay? And then all we need to do is probably just scoot this over a couple of pixels, and now we're good. We haven't even had to go into any comps, right? This is great. So, but I want to take this further, so I'll just type Maxon. Let's go Studio. All right. And once you know what you're looking for, you can just rapidly get through these. Maybe we don't want, well, we'll keep the arrow. I like the arrow. Maybe the waves can go. We'll keep that one, right? That's looking all right. And the colors, let's just go back to our palettes. We'll take the circle. Let's go for the light color here. Nice. And then I don't see any controls here for the background, but you know, there's obviously a background in there. So what we could do is just find it. And it looks like we have the universe gradient ramp on here. So I think what I'll do is just open up my footage, put this over here, maybe just color pick this. Yeah, maybe I'll just do them both so it's like more solid. But you know, I can change my mind at any point. And but now we've got version 2 already made. And let's say we want now to come back and iterate on our first version, because we've shown this, and it's like, yeah, we could probably do something more with the background. Let's do that. All right. So I'm going to go in and make a new comp. So 01. This would be okay. So rename this. There we go. All right. So I'll make a new comp. And what I could do is, there's a number of things I could do, right? I could take my instance here that's already got most of the setup, and I could duplicate it. Or I could apply a new instance and then maybe reapply my preset. that saves me a little bit more time, but for time's sake, I'm going to duplicate the instance, okay? So what we now have is back to where we were, everything except for that placeholder. So I'll drop this in, and you can see now, I'm just going to rapidly go through this. I scaled it down. I pressed U, I went to the final keyframe, and then I just aligned it. And then I did the same with the mask. And in no time at all, I've got back to where I was. But what I want to do now is say, like, you know what? I don't want just that red background. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do some capsule inception. We're going to put a capsule within a capsule. So we're going to go and put the this line's background. Why not? We'll put it in, okay? Now the capsule is inside it. We're going to put it at the very bottom, but maybe just above here. If we come in to edit this now, this one, I think the lines are a bit thick. I don't know about you, but maybe we'll just lower that. And what we could also do is just turn off the background. So we're seeing this other one come through. And, you know, that might be enough. It's not quite there yet. We can see that the background's animating in. So we can just take our capsule, parent it to the original background, and now it's going to travel along with that. And we've created a new version really quickly. If that's a bit distracting, why don't we maybe change the color, put it right in the same sort of mood. Take this and maybe just put a fast blur on or something, you know, just to knock it back a wee bit. Anyway, I'm going to call that good for now. It's just another version, and we can just keep iterating, you know. So I think that's the point I was trying to make. Super fast to be able to just take from nothing to something, and there we go. So we've got our 3 versions, and there they are, playing again. Okay. Good. Yeah, also. Okay. Everyone following so far? So good? Okay. Now, let's build something more with some capsules that I put together. So this would be a bit more, maybe a bit more in depth. I don't know. We'll see. But I think we got the time. So this is just like an imaginary promo. So I've taken some assets that the studio team have kindly provided and just combined them with my own capsules, and then I've put this quickly together. So let's see how we get on. All right, back in After Effects. I don't think we don't need to save this. We're already as far as we want to come with this. So I like a new, I'll just open up my demo file that I have here. And let's not save. All right, so all I've done is just add a few assets. And I also have a text file with the copy that I want to put in. So probably typically like what you might have in a proper job, all right? So let's go into here. Now then, when we're on all capsules, and at the start I was talking about tags and stuff like that, the ones I'm looking for are bold brand. So if I do this, it looks like I'm filtering. I want to just go to all capsules, okay? So what we have is a collection here. And this first one is a sequence that you could just use, and you can just drop in all these assets and it'll be fine. But I've also gone ahead and made them into their own modules. So you can then mix and match with different capsules. So we're going to go with the first module for now. Let's make a new comp. Let's make this a bit longer. Maybe something like so. And I'm going to apply this. Yeah. Okay, so what we have is just this little thing here. So we've got our main title, and then a space for a placeholder, and we could have some optional text that goes on top. So let's edit this. The main title, we'll just type it in. Okay, and you can see I've clicked away, there we go. It's there. I'm going to go back to my little palette here, find the background color, and just pick whip it. I keep saying pick whip. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just using the eyedropper. Right, so there we go. Color selected. Now this is fine. Now I'm just going to drop in this video and just leave it as is for now. I'll come back and make my edits once I've built out the whole structure. But I can tell already that with such a busy video, there's so much going on that I want to be able to show. I don't think the text is right here. I think it's a bit distracting. So I'll just get rid of that. And Now we can just see, okay, we're starting with the title. We're going to go into some video element, and then we will do something else. So let's navigate back, and let's find another one. I'll apply this into the same composition, and we're just going to start stacking this up. So I'm going to scoot this over, and this will transition in a way. So we have it on an alpha. It's going to transition in, clear that frame, and then we will make our edits. So I have designed this so that the text is responsive. So like if I were to change this, it's going to change its scale and do all of that. But so I want the text to be sort of big. So instead of just dragging in this long sentence here, which you can certainly do, right? This would actually end up scaling the text down to fit the bounds, which I don't want. What I'm going to do is just split it up with just carriage returns, and then we'll just put it in here. Okay. So yeah, that's about right. I think that will do for now. I'm going to just use the just enter in this hex value here. That's fine, and that kind of matches up with what we've got going on down here. And then I've got my other text, which I'll just quickly copy, and I'll paste it in. And again, the same deal, right? It's just gonna change its size so that we don't have text overflowing into areas that we don't want. If we wanted to, we could make this uppercase. It's just a toggle, but I think we'll keep it lowercase for now. Again, similarly, we could make this like this, right? You know, that's all right. It's different to what I was originally planning on doing, but I think I'll go with it. So I'm going to get my palette, select the color, and we're starting to unify these elements. So we're going to go from here, into here, into here, and we're not worried about that video just yet, remember. I've got another one that I'm going to drop in, and I quite like this. This is cool, right? So I'm sure there's going to be some part of this video that we can use that will kind of lead into this, so we'll keep our eye out for something like that. Now, it is a bit static, so what we can do, and something I haven't shown you yet, is keyframe within Studio. So I'm just like parked at the beginning here. I'm going to create a keyframe on the placeholder for the scale, and probably around about here, let's just scale it up, okay? So within Studio, we're already setting keyframes, and now we've got animation. We haven't had to go in, do anything else, you know, it's all done here. If you want to know where they are, by all means, dive into the placeholder, on this null, reveal the keyframes, and there they are. You want to finesse them further, go ahead, you can do that. And just wanted to let you know that there they are, okay? So let's come back. And I want maybe this transition element now. I'll apply it. So this is going to take us, it's going to wipe the frame, and we'll get another bit of footage that we can use. So maybe we can use another section of our promo video. So we'll grab this, we'll drop it in. And you know by now what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this, just make sure the colors are nice. I think what I'm going to do as well is I like maybe the color here for this yellow element, right? I'm going to take it away from the yellow. So I'll just pick a color from the actual video. And there we go. Okay. So it's looking all right. Maybe we go a bit darker. Let's see. So I'm making these creative decisions just as and when, right? I can always come back and change my mind. So now we have a transition from this scene to the next, and again, we're not going to use this type of, and you know what, let's fix the video now because it's bothering me. We're going to come back here. Let's dive in to this com, and this is where the footage is going to be. Just to turn any audio off, not that it plays out of here anyway. So let's go beyond where it says Maxon Studio, and this looks like an interesting part. So I'm just going to take this and do a quick edit. Let's bring it over. And just like that, we've now got a nice little bit. Let's see if it's working. So we come in with our title, and this is just going to come up nicely. And then we're going to come around, and Yeah, maybe we want to show a bit more. Just scoot it over. Yeah, no, actually, as this is coming down, I want to be going into our next scene. So I don't want the scene to change. So I need to bring it a little bit over. Yeah, okay, so that's nice. And then what we can do is maybe not hang on that for so long. And then instead of this, again, we're going to dive in, take our layer, and let's just find another bit. Let's find something else. Okay, so this might work because it's traveling over. It might work with our wipe as well. So we'll try it. Let's just bring this over and do this. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my main comp here and just see if the wipe's going to bring this in. So let's just play it back and see what we've got so far. Okay, so you can see it a bit bigger. Okay. Yeah, all right, looking good. Now let's close this video out a bit. We want to get to our last messages. So we'll come over and find this end title or message, add that. Just bring this in. And this is simply going to say create. We'll get rid of that edge. I don't think we need it. And we'll change the background color so it fits within our scheme. Okay. And that's going to be create. And then what I want is another one of these. So I want to retain all those edits that I've made. So again, what I'll do is just duplicate this right within the comp. Okay. So if I wanted to stay like more organized, this one here, rename it. This is going to be create. This one. Oh. Don't know if it renamed, but not to worry. Yeah, there we go. And this one, we'll rename this one to faster. Okay. All right. So this one, we just need to change the copy. Okay. And yeah, they're kind of on top of each other. So we've run into a little issue. Not to worry. And also, it's a bit slow. It's not, right? We'll just use some time remapping. So Control or Command, Option and T, right? And then we can just make this a little bit quicker. Oh, that's a bit too quick. Okay, create. And then I want faster just to come in. But what I'm going to do is wait until it's about there. Cut this. So something like that, right? And then to mask my quick edit that I've done, I'm going to use something to distract you. So we'll find some confetti, and let's just go here. All right, little confetti cannon. We'll apply this to our comp. No. And this is using trap code particular. Yeah. And just a custom particle. And it likes to have a little think. Oh, lovely. Just applied it nicely. So I'm going to line this up with the beginning of this so that we get this nice little effect. Oh, and maybe you want to see it too, so I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. So there we go. Create faster. Great. And then we'll finish with our end tag, which is going to be search for a logo revealer. Okay, you can scroll down. Here's one I made earlier, and it's a nice little organic logo reveal of the Maxon logo, but you can swap out the logo for your own. It's just the same concept as placeholders, right? So we'll apply this there and put it in. I think we want to make an edit. We want to bring the colors a bit more into the world that we've been creating. So it's a different type of purple. Let's scroll down to the color options here for the background. I think what I'm just going to do is just change this first color, and that should give us enough to kind of be in that right world. Yeah, it's all right. It's nice. So I want it to be probably right when it opens up. And just scoot this over a little bit until it feels right. And we'll cut these off because we're not going to need to see them anymore. Same deal. If this, we don't need to see that anymore.
Right.
Let's go.
So we'll get to a point where we're happy.
Fine.
And I will play it all back, I think, and just see if I want to make any more changes. But for the most part, that was pretty quick to put together. Just a handful of capsules. We're layering them up. We're doing our own edits, our own customizations. If we want to now, we can then save all of these as presets so that we've got this as the brand's library already set up, ready to go for the next video. So yeah, let's just check it out in full screen. Oh, there's the presentation. In fact, we'll just watch it in After Effects, right? Because we made it here. Why not? Okay. Is it working? Yeah, it is. So there we go. No time at all. So I think once you've got, if you're using this like as a typical project, right? You're going to come in here with maybe nothing, and you can still create something. Right? We're showing that in the first part. But if you have your own assets and your own copy and things like that, Studio allows you just to work with what you've got, with what's available here, and just produce something that we can take a little bit further if needs be. So it's really fun to play with. If you haven't, give it a try. It's really good fun. And again, like I said, this whole organization here, you can just see what you've got, and if you are disciplined and rename stuff, then you're not hunting around in this little browser thing. So, all right. So, thank you so much for your attention, and I'm here for another presentation. We're going to talk about the Create page, which is awesome, right? The team's done such a great job. Blows my mind the speed of the updates that they're coming out with, and now, like when I first started using Create, it was not what it was now. It's like a whole new game. So super excited to share that with you later in the show. Have a great one. My name's Andy Needham. I'll see you again. Cheers.
Okay. Yeah.